Come in, Mr. Cavender. Please sit down. Dr. Steers and I went to school together. Did he tell you that? Only he elected to become a GP, and I went on to psychiatry. Is he your regular physician?
I've only seen him a couple of times.
He didn't tell me what your problem was, only that he thought I could help you more than he could. Well, he meant by that, of course, that he doesn't feel your problem is organic. What is your problem, Mr. Cavender?
Insomnia.
How's that?
Insomnia. I can't sleep. I haven't slept in months.
Well, lots of people claim that. Say they never sleep. Not for a minute. Well, it's not really true, of course, you know. It only seems that way.
Well, I know that I doze off from time to time, but it's maybe an hour or 2 hours. It's certainly not enough. I can't think straight. I'm tired all the time. I've lost 3 jobs in the past 8 months.
I see. Well, let's get some of the details out of the way first, shall we? And then we'll talk about it. Your full name?
Charles Morton Cavender.
Age?
35.
Occupation?
Well, I used to work in a steamship company in the statistical department. I'm working for a mail order outfit now.
Are you married?
Single. I should say widowed.
Your wife died young, Mr. Cavender?
An accident.
What sort of accident?
Does it matter?
Well, it might.
It was a fire. I don't know how often I've had the dream. 4 or 5 times, maybe.
And it's always the same?
Always. Everything's like it was a year ago. We're living in the old house on Grassy Heights, Linda and me. I'm in the living room, sitting on the couch. Not doing anything in particular. I'm just sitting there. I can see every stick of furniture in the room. Cherry mahogany break front. White fuzzy rug that always messed up my trouser cuffs. Linda's upstairs in the bedroom, so I get up and I go to the foot of the stairs and I call her. She comes out in that kind of gypsy skirt of hers. Stands there at the head of the stairs smiling, with her hand on the banister. Then from behind her, I see the flames. She doesn't seem to be aware of them. They come at her from the bedroom. She just stands there smiling. I yell at her. I scream until my throat's dry and I can't yell anymore. And then the flames grab her and pull her back. I can hear them roaring, crackling.
Is that the end of the dream?
Yes. That's the way the dream is. Of course, that isn't the way it really happened.
Well, how did it really happen?
Well, it was in the middle of the night, and Linda and I were both asleep. I don't know how the fire actually started. I had some paints and things in a workshop in the basement, and the fire inspector said something about combustion. I don't know. All I know is that neither one of us woke up until the whole room was blazing. It was so full of smoke that I couldn't see anything. And I called Linda's name, and she didn't answer. I went to the bedroom door, and I couldn't get it open. The knob was so hot. I couldn't get it open, so I went to the bathroom door. It was half open. And I went inside. I was hysterical, I guess. That's the word for it. I started working on the window, and it came open, and I jumped out. It wasn't a very big drop. There were some bushes there that broke my fall. When I hit the ground, I got up and I started running. I didn't stop till I was about halfway to the road. And I looked back, and the whole house was just covered with flames. It was an old house, wood frame. I've never seen anything burn so fast.
Your wife was killed. Do you think you could have saved her? I mean, does it trouble you that you didn't try? Do you feel guilty, Mr. Cavender?
No.
Well, it wouldn't be unnatural if you did. Even if you had done the only sensible thing. Even if there wasn't a chance that you could have saved your wife. It's inevitable that you should feel some guilt. After all, you're still alive.
No, it's not that. I don't blame myself. I don't blame myself.
Well, perhaps not consciously.
Well, consciously or unconsciously, no matter what.
No matter what. What do you mean by that, Mr. Cavender?
Well, this brother of hers, this Jack Fletcher.
Your wife's brother?
Yeah, now there's a guy you ought to see, Doc. He needs a head shrieker a lot more than I do.
Why do you say that?
Because he's crazy, that's why. He's got this nutty idea in his head and he can't get rid of it.
What idea is that? Does he hold you responsible for his sister's death?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Now, why should I know? I don't even know the guy. I never even met him. He's 500 miles away when it happened. The way he talks, you'd think he was right next door.
Well, where was he?
He's in a veterans hospital over in Maryland someplace. He heard about Linda's death, naturally, and he got some newspaper clippings about the fire, and I suppose that's how he got this idea about me.
What idea is that, Mr. Cavender?
Well, I saved my own skin. I let Linda burn. That's what he thinks. That's what he wrote in the letter. It's a real psychotic letter, Doc. You'd be interested in it.
Where is this man Fletcher now, do you know?
Oh, I don't know. Said in his letter he was leaving the hospital. Said he was getting out at the right time.
The right time? What did he mean by that?
Well, how should I know? I suppose he wants to make trouble. Look, the guy is half out of his head. He was very fond of his sister. They grew up together without parents. You know what I mean. Well, I don't blame him for being upset, except he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. I couldn't have saved Linda, not in a million years. He wasn't in that room, Doc. He doesn't know what it was like. It was a furnace in there. It was an absolute furnace. For all I know, Linda was already dead when I woke up. There wasn't a chance in the world.
You don't have to persuade me, Mr. Cavender.
Well, I know that it's all connected up somehow. I know that. The insomnia and the fire. Except I slept all right after the fire. That's the thing that bothers me. I slept all right after the fire.
Well, just when did your insomnia begin, Mr. Cavender? When Jack Fletcher left the hospital?
Yeah. Come to think of it, yeah.